Congratulations on your graduation. I have 5 tips to help you land your first job sooner than later. Let's get started. My first tip for you is to build a personal brand and make sure you're building it consistently. Here we are on the Google results page for my cousin, Cole Bazant. He recently graduated from UCLA. Congratulations. And so you can see this first result here takes me to Cole's LinkedIn page, which I'm going to tab over to. We can see that he's job searching. We can see where he's worked, learn a little more about him. He has a nice professional photo, and this gives me a good professional snapshot. The thing is, though, when I go back to the search results page, as I scroll down, I see other links for Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter. But having gone through them, none of these are to him. They send me to someone else. So I might advise Cole to think about making a website, a blog, a Twitter account, and really giving people other breadcrumbs so that they can learn a little bit more about him. Ideally, your Google search results give people those little glimpses of who you are, enough to entice them to think, hey, this is an interesting person. I want to know a little bit more. The second tip is to think about the resume bullets you've accumulated in your career. So don't just tell us what you did. Tell us why it matters. What are the business results that you achieved? It really changes your outlook from this is my job description to this is what I accomplished. So here we are on Cole's resume. You can see that he worked as a recruiting coordinator, which is great. What I did is clean up some of the language to make it a little bit more active and talk more about the results that he brought to the business. So, for example, you can see that he was leading recruitment for project management of dozens of projects per day, and that they ranged in scope. That's great. So let's say that I was talking to him, and for example, I learned that he actually set a new record. The number of projects he manages set him apart. So I would want to put something like that. Or even if he didn't set a record, I'd want to think of a way to frame that so that it doesn't sound mundane, but so that we give people kind of a window into what was different about Cole. Similarly below, I changed the wording to say that he built and led an implementation of a new workflow that added 24,000 linguists to the company's internal database. And the next part of this sentence is gold. He increased available resources by more than 200%. Love that. That tells me he's proactive. Now, his resume already had these great milestones about what he did with the company's web presence. He improved their Yelp rating from 1 to 4 stars through outreach. That is a great resume bullet. The other tip I want to tell you about resume bullets is it's not just a backward glance at what you've done, but I want you to think about managing your career in terms of what resume bullets are you adding every month, every quarter, every year. When you think of your career in those terms, what can I kind of sum it up with that lets people know about me, that helps you backwards set goals for yourself to be remarkable? The third tip is to show initiative. Be, as I say, wildly on top of things. You'd be surprised how much this sets you apart. And there's not a better example right now than the website of a woman named Nina. And Nina had a unique approach to set herself apart with Airbnb. So she had applied for jobs with Airbnb, didn't get the attention she was hoping to get in terms of interviews and callbacks. So what she did was she put a proposal for Airbnb expanding into the Middle East into a website. And she told them what they're missing, she told them why it matters, and of course why she is uniquely poised to help them seize this opportunity. I love this kind of initiative. But even if making a website proposal isn't quite your style, you could send a proposal to a CEO, you could identify a business's pain points, talk about that in your cover letter. It's really good to think about how can you be proactive? How do you know more about a company than your competitors in the job market? How do you think about addressing their needs and showing how your skills fill them? It's a really great approach. The fourth tip I want you to keep in mind is to build out 10 core skills. Now, these are skills that are great for today, they're great for tomorrow, they're great for next year. Get your competitive edge on. So here are my 10 core skills to be competitive. You can see that they range from the softer skills, knowing how to write without typos is super important, knowing how to communicate and listen, how to manage projects, scope, budget, timeline. how to be productive, how to follow through on your word and be accountable to that. If you say you're going to get me something by 5, you get it to me by noon, that impresses me. If you get it to me by 9 in the morning, that impresses me more. If I have to come asking for it at 6 o'clock, not so great. Digital marketing is becoming part of our general fluency. How do you interact with customers? How do you have a social presence that's appropriate and really live consistently with the brand you represent? Negotiation is a key skill, not just to get your job, but also to be competitive once you have it. And tech fluency has never been more important than it is today. Knowing how to learn technology, how to learn well, and ultimately how to teach others and be that person who can be that go-to resource in the office. The final one is one I want to draw attention to, and that's typing skills. I learned typing on a DOS computer many, many years ago when I was a kid, and today I type over 90 words per minute. It's the single skill that I credit with my efficiency as a professional. It allows me to get through a lot more email every day. It gives me the confidence and really the ability to be a clear, succinct communicator and to get more done. So that is one of my favorite tips. Get a high word per minute score and do that practicing. The last tip I have for you is build momentum. Every great career starts somewhere. So I want you to think about getting in motion and staying in motion. Now is a great time to establish the routine of having a 9-to-5 job. So even if you're in job hunting mode, get used to getting up, getting dressed in professional attire, spending your 9-to-5 day doing the actual job hunting so that when you have the job, you're used to that routine. The other thing I want you to keep in mind is that we all start somewhere. An entry-level job can be a great golden ticket for you if you show the initiative, if you think in terms of building those resume bullets, you're adding to your core skills, and you're crafting your personal brand as you go. So with that, those are my 5 tips. I invite you to check out the playlist of lynda.com courses that we've made to help you with your skills. And if you're so inclined, please tweet me at Jolie Miller and let me know about the progress that you're making. Best of luck.